Money won't buy you happiness. In fact, if you believe in curses, winning the Mega Millions jackpot may make you the opposite of happy. It could kill you. Stay with me here. According to the New York Daily News, 70% of lottery winners end up broke within 7 years. Even worse, several winners have died horribly or witnessed those close to them suffer. Today on Wealth and Power, we're counting down our picks for some of the lottery winners who lost it all. For this list, we'll be looking at individuals whose enormous luck didn't seem to extend beyond their big paydays. What would you do if you won the lottery? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Viv Nicholson. It all began in 1961 when an impoverished miner's wife won the pools. While we all may crave enough money to never work again, many of us perhaps wouldn't know how to manage such an amount. In 1961, Keith Nicholson was lucky enough to win over $180,000 in UK football pools, equivalent to over $3 million when adjusted for inflation. Keith's wife, Viv, was naturally ecstatic with her newfound fortune, once saying in a press interview that she would spend, spend, spend. And lavishly spend away their fortune is exactly what the couple did, so that in just a few years, all of it was gone. And what's worse, Keith tragically passed away not long after. Viv later co-wrote an autobiography, appropriately titled Spend, 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 which inspired a musical of the same name. Number 9. Jack Whitaker. While you have to be incredibly lucky to win the lottery, this man seemed to encounter the opposite. After he claimed the American multi-state Powerball, businessman Jack Whitaker won over $300 million in 2002. Though he was already worth $17 million at the time, he then suffered tragedy after tragedy. Multiple family members suddenly died, his house went up in flames, and thieves robbed him several times. Whitaker reveled in the ability to give handouts, which he did until the money ran out, donating stacks of cash to churches, diner waitresses, family members, strangers, and his local strip club. But Jack Whitaker believes that the blessing of his Powerball win had become a curse upon his family. He became buried in gambling debt and long-term money problems. While he did pledge at least 10% of his winnings to charitable causes, it seems like it wasn't enough to weigh karma in his favor. Whitaker told ABC News 20/20 that his wife wished that she had torn the ticket up. His wife left, his house burned down, he ran afoul of the law, he lost a daughter to cancer and a granddaughter to drugs. In 2020, Whitaker died at the age of 72. Number 8. Billy Bob Harrell Jr. Billy Bob Harrell Jr. is in a class by himself in the sad history of lottery winners spending too much too fast. The Home Depot shelf stalker blew through $31 million in just 2 years after winning the Lotto Texas jackpot. He and his wife bought houses and cars for themselves and their family members. The deeply religious family also donated heavily to their church and individual members of the congregation. The money dried up, and Harrell's marriage fell apart. Less than 2 years after his lottery dreams came true, Harrell locked himself in a room and shot himself dead. He told a financial advisor that winning the lottery was the worst thing that ever happened to him. Number 7. John McInnis. All it takes is one bad investment. After winning over $10 million in 1996, John McInnis gave some to his family, bought a new house, and a few more luxuries. But the big blunder was just around the corner. McInnis met ex-Celtic Football Club director Dominic Keane and shortly after invested his remaining fortune into one of his favorite soccer teams, Livingston FC. Keane was then taken to court, accused of tricking the lotto winner and another business partner into signing a fraudulent loan refinancing deal. But Keane was cleared in 2009, destroying any chances McInnis had of getting his winnings back. McInnis later said he found it hard to leave his house for fear of getting heckled as the man who lost the lot. Number 6. Callie Rogers. Callie Rogers was another lucky Brit who cashed in big at a very young age, but she was even greener and less prepared to manage her money than Mickey Carroll. When Rogers won the equivalent of $2.3 million in 2003, she was only 16 years old, making her the youngest national lottery winner. A decade later, in 2013, she had only around $2,500 left in the bank. She tore through the winnings due to drugs. Rogers dropped about $300,000 on cocaine alone, as well as plastic surgery, high-end clothing, gifts, and partying. Britain's youngest lottery winner was later banned from driving after crashing her 4x4 during a police chase while she was high on drugs. In 2021, the Daily Mail reported that Rogers was penniless and living on government benefits at the age of 33, 18 years after striking it rich. Number 5. Denise Rossi. Denise Rossi received some excellent news in 1996 via a lotto pool at work. She had won a share of the jackpot, with hers alone amounting to $1.3 million. Now, having won a fortune, she filed for divorce from her husband Thomas 11 days after getting the news. They separated and went on with their lives until about 2 years later, when Thomas received a letter addressed to his ex, which concerned her lotto payments. Thomas subsequently took her to court, since he wasn't made aware of this during the divorce proceedings. As a result, the judge awarded the entire sum to him. Number 4. Jim Hayes. When you get used to such a large amount of money, you might just do anything to keep living that expensive lifestyle. Former security guard Jim Hayes won $19 million in 1998, allowing him to live his wildest dreams. But he later described the experience as a curse. Even though he asked to receive his jackpot in yearly installments, he began borrowing against advances of the deposits, burning through more than he had on luxuries and a divorce settlement. Ultimately, he started living in a garage and developed a drug addiction. Needing cash, he proceeded to rob several banks. In each heist, he would allegedly slip a note to the teller, demanding cash and threatening to shoot if they did not comply. The FBI caught on to him, though, and he was then arrested and jailed. Number 3. Gerald Muswagon. Gerald Muswagon bought a $2 lotto ticket that made him an instant millionaire in 2011. He won a $10 million jackpot, but blew through it in just a few short years. He bought a house that doubled as a nightly party spot, hosting his ever-growing legion of hangers-on. He also blew the cash on cars, partying, and gifts, while racking up a string of legal entanglements, according to the Globe and Mail. By the end, he was doing manual labor on a farm to support his girlfriend and 6 young children. 7 years after his big win, he hanged himself in his parents' garage. Number 2. William Post. The story of William Bud Post III is so dramatic that we're surprised there hasn't been a film made about it. In 1988, Post pawned a ring and gave the money to his landlady and his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Ann Carpick, to buy 40 lottery tickets, one of which was worth $16 million in the Pennsylvania lottery. Post then started collecting around $500,000 in annual payments, but reportedly spent even more than was coming in. His troubles worsened, though, when in 1989, Carpick sued him and was eventually awarded a third of his winnings. And then, his estranged brother hired a hitman to kill him for the inheritance. Post passed away in 2006, around $1 million in debt at the time. Number 1. Janet Leigh. While many lottery winners like to spend lavishly, Janet Leigh instead used her money philanthropically. Her educational and political donations saw her dining with the elite and maintaining a refined persona throughout the 1990s. But there was trouble brewing beneath the surface. While one could certainly do a lot with a $620,000 annual payout won via the Illinois lottery, it was the way she spent her money that was her downfall. She made most of her purchases, including her new house, on credit cards and loan plans. Even when she tried to pay her debts off early, she was crippled by early payoff penalties. Not only did she file for bankruptcy in 2001 with $2.5 million in debt, but she also sold the rights for future lottery payments. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world's worst lotto lows. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest episodes. Until next time, remember, fortune may smile upon you, but it's how you handle that fortune that truly matters.